All right. Welcome to Writer Enchanted Studio. We are going to have some fun today. We're going to do a handful of stuff. First thing we're going to do is we're actually going to demold some stuff for you live for you. Then we're going to make a cat dragon out of a mold to kind of show you how you can do mica powders and stuff inside of them, pour them, things like that. My wife is going to be doing a skull, kind of a galaxy, so she's going to be painting the inside, maybe doing some foils, some other stuff across him, kind of making him cool looking. And then we're going to try a new technique that we've been checking out to kind of make some coasters. We're going to put a little bit of clear in the bottom, and then we're going to put a bunch of colored drops of resin dye, and then we're going to reflood it with clear to kind of give it this cool effect, and then kind of manipulate the colors a little bit to kind of give it kind of a flowery, kind of a burst of color kind of happening through it. So if you have any questions, definitely put it in the comments. We're here to answer anything you guys are looking for, any kind of feedback, anything like that you want to provide, or questions, comments, anything you guys want to see. But let's get started. So these right here, there's some cute little resin skulls. These were made with a tabletop epoxy, which is the first time we're really doing that with these types of molds. We were doing a geo painting last night and had some extra resin, so we decided just to fill up some skulls to see what they're actually going to do, and then we put them into a pressure pot to get all the bubbles and stuff out of them. So you can see that's really cool looking, kind of a cool looking skull. They are still a little wet. I know that's just extra resin. While my wife is going to be demolding these skulls, oh, this one's cool looking. I don't know if you can see those swirls of gold and purple through them.
Not really, but it looks.
I wish
cool.
you could.
Oh, this one too.
See that really close up close to the camera.
It's a little blurry.
I don't know, but those things, I'll take some pictures of them so you guys can see them a little better. Ooh. But these guys are cool looking, but they have that kind of purple swirl through it to kind of give it that cool effect. But like I said, this was just some leftover tabletop epoxy because we were doing some stuff downstairs.
Yeah, that was a better
making a geo painting. And then we have some dice. It's the same resin, same mold, or same colors we were playing with. So that tabletop epoxy, these definitely need cleaned up. We'll clean those up, make them nice. But you can tell it's still that gold and purple. They're cool looking.
Yeah, that looks pretty awesome.
I'm not seeing any bubbles or anything though, so those might be what we use for dice. That's pretty sweet.
There's a little one on this corner.
Like this is the first time I'm actually demolding these particular dice. Normally my son does these dice, but we're gonna demold them.
That's a cool little extra bit of resin.
I know. I'm like, that thing's cool looking. I might keep it. I'm just pulling off some of the excess resin before I demold it. There we go. All right, let's demold this D20. This thing's cool looking. I don't know if you guys can really see that, but
yeah.
We'll actually come back through it. I'm thinking about painting the numbers, so they're actually going to stand out in like a bright silver, kind of a chrome silver, to make them look like they're going to shine and kind of pop really well. That one's cool looking. You can show the camera. This one has a couple little bubbles. We're going to have to epoxy him or re-resin that guy.
That's that was got quite a bit.
Yeah, it has a couple of bubbles in him. I don't think I filled him quite full enough when I was kind of in a hurry last night before our resin setup. This one has a little bubble too, right there in the corner.
Yep.
Ooh, this D20 though, if I can not drop him on his head. This one looks good. I'm not seeing any real bubbles, no nothing in him, so.
He looks pretty cool.
He looks cool. There might be one little bubble. I seen it all. I felt it as I was spinning him around. Oh yeah, it's right there. One little bubble. Then this cool D20.
I think you said one. D20 3 times.
What is this one then? Oh, it's
12.
A D12. That's my bad. This is our D20. This one doesn't have any bubbles. This is probably my favorite dice so far.
If you put your hand behind it, and get it up close, you could actually see it. There you go. See
that? There we go.
Yeah, there you go. That one looks cool.
That one looks awesome. Anyway, just figured we'd do a nice demold for you guys to start out with. If you want to see them, pick them up. Like I said, we're going to do some cool silver numbers through them. We're going to put those away so we can actually start doing some resin. Like I said, ask us any questions, any comments. Just put it in the comments. My wife is checking them. And then we'll kind of make sure we answer whatever questions you guys might have as we get started. We're definitely here to help you if you're just barely getting into resin or wanting to know how something's done. Just put it in the comments and let us know. But we're actually going to start with a mold. This mold is a cat dragon. Can't really see what he looks like, but we're going to start by painting him with some cool mica powders. So I like a lot of bright pop colors, the ones that are really shiny and bright and just kind of out there, especially for this kind of cute little cat dragon. So we're going to do purples, we're going to do some pinks, then we're going to do some blues. These colors complement each other very well, so that's why I'm using these ones in particular. So we're going to start with just a quick little paintbrush. We're going to put them in our purple because that's the one I want my dominant color to be in. We're going to just start by painting inside this tail and into his feet, things like that. Yes.
They're very neon.
They are very neon. I like the bright neons. We're going to give him some purple feet too. That's why you see me kind of coming into his feet. Like I said, I'm just barely dipping the brush inside that mica powder. It's not a paint. It's literally like it's a powdery substance that gets everywhere. You can see him kind of floating through. And I'm just going to kind of spot a couple spots to kind of give him some more color as we're going through. Those will come through in the resin as we're going. Now I'm going to take some bright blue. We're going to come right on the tips of these tail feathers and make them blue at the very, very edge of them. This thing will be cool looking once it's done. Like I said, if you're wondering exactly what I'm doing or why I'm doing something, just ask the question in chat. My wife will read it out so I can tell you exactly why we're doing it, or she'll answer it directly for you. But we're just going to paint this mold real quick. The reason we paint it with mica powder is I like it to where it actually sits inside the resin so I don't come back through and paint. That way, if you ever pick up or when you do pick up an actual item from us, the color will never fade. You can't scratch it off. You can't mess with it. It's permanently inside the resin itself, which makes it to where it's a lot more secure. It's a lot better off in general. I think I actually want a little bit of black. I'm going to take a little bit of black and paint his nose and his eyes up here in the very front of him. Right up through here. To give it that kind of, to make his face a little more black, like he's got a black nose, black eyes. Got to make those pop a little bit. I'm going to take some silver because he does have some horns that kind of come off the side of his head. You can kind of see him. They're right here in the mold. These right here. These are actually his horns that are coming off the top of his face. I'm going to take some silver. We're actually going to paint down inside here to give him some cool silvery horns. This thing's going to be cool when it's done. Okay. Because I painted his horns black, I'm also going to come down the ridge of his spine. So the dragons have these spikes coming down his back. We're going to paint those silver as well to give him some, make him more symmetrical, to make him look like he's actually painted the way he should be in nature, if this guy existed. Give him a little bit of silver through his spine. If you notice, I'm pinching the mold a little bit so I can make sure I get all the way down into the very bottom of his spine. Is what we're doing. Then I'm just going to accent just little hints of silver just to kind of make it to where it flows a little bit. So he doesn't look like he's just got a streak of silver down him. You still see a little bit of silver through the rest of his body. All right, now we're gonna come back through with this bright red. We're gonna paint his body red. So he's gonna be, I think he's gonna be cool again when we get him molded. We're gonna pour him in a 24-hour resin, so in a couple of days you'll see us post an actual video of what he actually looks like, so you guys can see. If you're on our live, you can see how we did it and then what he looks like when we're done. But at this point I'm just putting red in places to make it to where it looks like he's gonna pop kind of a reddish. And then you're going to see those blues and purples kind of flow through as well. I am painting the very sides of the mold because that's still part of the dragon, not just the base. You have to paint the whole mold itself, not just the parts that you think, oh, this will look cool. You have to really paint the whole mold itself. Otherwise, you're going to end up with places that don't have anything. We missed the spot right here with that silver. Kind of making them pop here. There we go. There we go. Going back to my red. And if you notice, I'm not terribly worried about where I get the colors because I want them to kind of blend to make it look like they're more symmetrical, they're more in line with each other, and that's the design that we're looking for. Not something where you see those stark lines or stark contrast. I want them to blend together. So now that I got most of them where I want them, I'm going to come back through and I'm going to accent some of those purples and blues just to kind of make him pop with some of these other purples. Just to make sure he's not got any of those stark lines in him that I was talking about. I just want to make sure he's cool looking. Got to get the inside of his leg here, inside of his leg here. All right. Sorry, that might be loud on my mic. Sorry about that. Anyway, here's what he looks like when we actually get him. So he is fully painted. He's got mica powder everywhere. If you look, I pull him out. You can kind of see how all that mica is down inside of all of them to give him that kind of look. We do have some blacks and stuff around his nose and his eyes, so you can kind of see that. So when we mold him or when we pour him, all those colors are going to blend together and kind of give you these cool patterns coming through the middle of him. And then you're going to see his nose is black and his eyes are black. It should be very cool looking when we're done. So we're going to put this guy aside. And we need to start mixing some resin.
24 hour?
24 hour, yes.
Would you like me to start on that?
If you don't mind.
Not at all.
Let me get some resin going. I don't know how much we need here, sweetie.
Just for this or everything?
We're going to do everything.
Okay.
Let me get some dice and stuff out of the way.
So we can probably start off with about 8 ounces.
Okay.
Or, well, you want to fill these up too. You just want to put
No,
some
there's going
in.
to be a black on,
I know,
on the
but
back of them.
when I say fill them up, I mean like halfway.
Yeah, about. There you go.
Then, yeah, I was going to say we'll need a bigger one then.
Okay. Black is getting put away.
I need gloves, please.
Yep. There you go.
Thank you.
That's looking cool.
I'm literally just randomly pulling colors and putting them somewhere.
I do that all the time. So.
But these ones should be.
Anyway, while my wife is getting that started, she's been hard working on this skull. I don't know if you guys can see on the inside of it slightly. If I can get that right. There you go. She's just basically painting the same kind of things with mica powders. These are more glittery and kind of color shift. So this inside of the skull is going to look more like a galaxy. You can kind of see it on the outside, but not really. But it's gonna be way cool looking when it's done. Here's this other one. And while I start getting some resin created, I need some gloves on.
I am going to start you off with about just over 16 ounces.
Perfect. That should be plenty.
Yeah, but we actually have lots that's in 24-hour because like this little lid's in 24-hour.
Oh, that needed foil?
Yeah, I could get that.
You want me to foil that while you're mixing?
No.
Okay.
Oh, well, you can because you're not doing anything.
I'm gonna wait till we get some of those done. So, while my wife is mixing up some resin, we're gonna do a different technique for you guys as well. We're gonna take. I have a lid to a pot that we need to make, so I'm gonna flip it inside out. If this thing's gonna cooperate for me. Come on, baby. There we go. There we go. Flipping them inside out. The reason I'm flipping them inside out is I'm going to take some foil paper. I'm actually going to foil this guy.
I like how you called it foil paper.
Is it not foil paper?
I don't know. I just call it foil.
It acts like paper.
You can take these. I have both. And I will mix.
So she's going to mix that for about 5 minutes or so, and then we're going to put it in a debubbler. It's a vacuum chamber that basically pulls all the bubbles out. But if you notice, see, it looks like foil paper. She calls it foil, but I think it's foil paper. I'm actually just going to take it and stick it onto here. As gently as I can. Trying to get it everywhere. Once I get most of it stuck in, we're stuck.
That way you can show what it's for.
Oh, I got you. I'm like, what are we pulling our pot out for? So this is a pot we made earlier. You can see some of the foils in it. Has the gold and the bronze foils. We need to make a lid to this guy. The lid that we had is not the one that should have been with it. So we are remaking it, but this is what we're actually going to be making. You can kind of see those gold and bronze colors through them. That's what this foil is going to do. It's going to give it that bronze look, so more like this look on this actual lid. So once I get some foil on it, I'm going to take a paintbrush and I'm actually going to press it into that mold to make it to where it stays nice and solid and fully painted on. So nothing kind of comes off. If you watch some of our other videos, you've seen us do this with like the Zen turtle shells, things like that. Once you pull them inside out, it'll give it that kind of cracked look. But we need to make it to where it looks nice first. And then we're going to flip him inside out and then it's going to look cracked. We're kind of shattered. Should be freaking cool looking when it's done. So I'm just going to take and put some foil on this guy. There we go. And we're just going to brush it on to make it stay. Which definitely gives you this kind of cool look, this cool effect. I do have a question though, sweetie. Mm-hmm. What do you want done on the tip?
Well, I'd like the tip to be colored.
Do you want it foiled too?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I don't care if you foil in the same one or if you do this gold.
Okay. I think maybe we'll do a little bit of gold to kind of give them a little bit of an accent as we go.
I think that's fine.
So she is still mixing resin. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Oh yeah, it's on there.
So we do have to mix fairly slow, otherwise you get a lot of bubbles. She is 1,000 times better at mixing stuff than I am, so you'll see her mix most of our resin. I do a lot of the colors and a lot of the design and what I think looks good. Sometimes she'll tell me I'm crazy and I'll change it, but you know, we're a good team in that aspect. I'm just gonna try and put some down in here. You didn't pull out the gold, right?
No.
Okay.
I only pulled that one out because I wasn't thinking.
No, you're good. I don't need the rest of that one. We're gonna See if I can pick this up off our silicone mat.
Somebody actually asked, what are you doing?
So I'm actually making a pot lid. Somebody asked, what are we doing? So I'm making a pot lid, and I'm actually putting foil paper or foil inside to make it to where it's going to look like it's cracked. So if you notice all these little cracks and lines through this guy, it's kind of hard to see on camera, but it gives it that kind of, looks like you crumpled paper and then just kind of molded around it is what it looks like. So you can kind of see through them. That's what that foil paper is going to be doing, to give you that kind of effect, if that makes sense. Hopefully that answered your question. If you have any other questions, let us know. I'm happy to answer whatever I can or give you some insights on why we're doing something a certain way. I'm going to take some of this bright gold too and put this inside this right here.
There you go. Nice.
That's a little difficult to get into. I'm actually going to add a little bit of accents of this gold around too.
Yeah, I was
Make
just
it look
going to
like
say,
that pot.
maybe on that side, right? Yep, right there. You had a pretty good spot there.
All right, let me slide my foil paper back away. If you notice, we are doing everything on a silicone mat as well. Resin doesn't stick to silicone, so it's easier to clean up instead of making a big mess everywhere.
We actually made the mat to fit our area.
And that was a fun little project. Okay. Now I need to just refoil this. Just going to press it down into that silicone mold. The silicone sticks to the foil paper sticks to the silicone. That's why I'm pushing it in or pressing it into it to make it to where it kind of stays where I want it and not give us that kind of funky look. Now, if you look at it, you see how it looks cracked? It looks a little more distorted. That's the look we were going for, to give us that kind of distorted look or that cracked look, to make it to where it's not a solid color. It's more
Now you need
funky.
to go through it to make sure all the little pieces come out so you don't have so much excess in there. There you go.
Kind of blowing it out a little bit to give us some of those excess stragglers kind of coming.
It's going to be a cool looking honey pot.
Yes, it will.
There we go. And
All
I
right.
think we are ready for the vacuum chamber.
Beautiful.
I'm not really seeing any streaks.
I'm going to clean up my work area a little bit. Now I got foil paper everywhere. If it'll even come off. My wife always makes fun of me because I make the biggest mess ever.
Yeah, foil paper, I would have used tape to try to pull that off rather than a baby wipe.
Oh, well, too late now.
Yeah, because now you're just pushing that foil down into the silicone. As we just discussed, that foil sticks to silicone.
Hey, you're welcome. There we go. There we go. All right. Now that I'm a little more cleaned up, we are going to get ready to pour some coasters.
Okay, that's going.
So I'm going to need some gloves.
You got everything done that needed to be done? For now?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Unless somebody wants to see us do this, we do have time to do this. It is a incense burner. That's the word I'm looking for. So it has a skull down here, and then it has the incense track. So it has the sticks that you can actually put into his mouth, so it kind of holds so all the ashes kind of sit down through the middle of the actual track. The track itself looks like it's more bones. We can actually do this guy if somebody wants to see him, or how we'd actually do this person, or this one in particular. We can paint his skull white. We can do kind of a purple skull. We can do kind of purple bones through him. Or we can even do more like a dirty pour if we really wanted to. Kind of depending on what you guys want to see.
Can you get me the black? I think I want to do his eyes and stuff in black.
Oh, yeah. You want black or do you want this metallic black?
That one. Because I think that will look cool coming with all the blues and galaxy.
Will. That will absolutely cool. I think skulls
is...
should most likely have black eyes anyway.
Somehow there is foil on my eyeball.
Oh, I got foil on her mold. She's probably not happy about that.
Not a big deal. Just a little bit.
If you're just joining us, we did do a cat dragon done with mica powders. We're going to pour him here in just a minute. We're going to do a 24-hour pour. So in 24 to 48 hours, I'll post a video of us actually pouring that and letting you guys see exactly what it looks like. We are also going to make a crystal. So this is kind of a crystal mold. You guys can see that as well. It has a bunch of cool facet designs through them. We're going to make this guy just clear to begin with. And then I'm going to put kind of a metallic crystals across the top. And then I'm going to cover that in a solid black. So this is going to be a 2-day project where the first one's going to be a 24-hour pour. We're going to drop some cool crystals or glass shards into it. Then we're going to cover it solid black to make it kind of a mirror finish. So when you actually look at it, it's going to be multifaceted and make it look really like a crystal. It's going to be cool looking when it's done. And then we just foiled this resin pot, or it's a honey pot, to make it to where it looks like this one. This one's already done. We just needed to make the lid to kind of finish it off. So that's what we're doing here. You can see all the foils that I actually did through him to make him look cool. And then if you can see my wife's skull that she's doing, she's kind of off camera. So she's making kind of a galaxy skull. Right now she's painting the eyes and the nose kind of a solid black to give it that kind of depth.
What about the teeth? And
then the skull is going to be kind of a almost like a galaxy kind of look with some multi-shift mica powders. So we have the greens, the blues, reds. There's actually a galaxy one as well. It kind of gives you a mix of all of them, but she's just painting it kind of at random to give it that kind of cool effect across the skull.
Think I should do the teeth black as well?
I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we do the teeth black? You want them white? You want them... What are you guys thinking? We'll give you guys a second to see what you guys want to do with the actual teeth. To kind of give him that effect as well. You're going to put kind of black spots on him? Is that what you're doing?
A little bit.
That'll be cool.
Give him a little bit more depth.
Our resin has about another 5 minutes in our debubbler.
Although I guess if I was pouring with black resin, that wouldn't matter because that's what I was going to do.
Oh, you're pouring black? Like that solid mirror black?
Because it will make the galaxy colors pop more.
Oh, I got you.
They just really pop with black backing.
Black. I think that deep solid black that we picked up, this black, right, is the one you're going to do. This black we just barely picked up. We were looking for a nice solid black instead of just doing black resin all the time. We wanted to be able to make our own
black, or the mica powder that
we have this one. This one kind of turns out to be like a kind of a grayish black. It's not a deep solid true black, which is what we're looking for. So we actually went down, we found some stuff off Eye Candy, found their black, and we actually tried it yesterday on our geo painting, and it is really cool. It gives you like this solid, deep, dark black, and it's almost like a mirror finish, so it actually reflects everything back off of it. So this is the color we're going to use on the back of these to give it that kind of cool effect, that mirror look, along with our crystal itself. So. But that's the color she's going to be putting in that for the skull to give it that really dark black. Yeah, here's my wipe. Anyway, let us know if you have any questions. We've been doing resin for quite a while. We recently started selling it on writerenchanted.com. If you want to pick up a cool couple pieces.
There's no studio in that?
writerenchantedstudio.com, sorry. You know, it's been one of those days already.
Apparently.
It's all good. But we have some really cool pieces up there. We have a couple of figures. We have some coasters that are up there. We have a couple sets of ghosts. Actually, let me go grab some so you guys can see what I'm talking about.
Well, that's weird. Just leave them.
Hey, you're welcome. So we actually have this guy here. This is one we recently made. It is a dragon on top of a crystal ball. If you look at the ball itself, if I wiggle it around, it's actually a shaker ball. You see some of the swirls and stuff coming through the ball itself. Looks really cool. This was also done with mica powders and a black resin on the top, and then we did all this just in a solid clear. This one was just barely demolded. We're going to put him up on our site probably within 2 days to kind of give you an option to pick him up if you wanted to.
Yeah, I actually think that one ended up being one of my favorites. He turned out really cool.
All right. That looks like we have another 2 minutes. So some of the other cool things that we've done, you can see this guy. He is a Zen turtle. He is like a glacier blue, so we actually colored him blue, or had a blue resin, a transparent blue, and then we colored his shell purple with this actual color, purple right here, to give him that kind of purple shell look. And then if you look through him, he looks really cool when you actually get through him. But he's got a cool texture. He's got a cool face. He's definitely got a good vibe to him. We did the same kind of turtle, but we decided to do it with kind of that mica powder, or not mica powder, but the foil that we're doing on this one. So this is what that'll look like when it's done. You see how the kind of cracks and molds through it. You can kind of see exactly what he's going to look like. But this is also one of our Zen turtles. It's kind of cool looking. He is done in green and gold across his shell. Then we have our tree figure. This is probably one of my favorite.
He goes fast.
He normally sells really quick, so if you're looking to pick him up, he is available on our site, but he does sell out quick. So we normally end up making him almost every week because we can't seem to keep him in stock. This one we actually did a cool green across his face, and then we actually did a bunch of different browns and golds through his body to kind of give him that cool effect.
We do really like to do custom pieces, so if it's something you're really interested in but you want different colors, you can do that on our site, and we just email back and forth to make sure that we get you what suits your style.
Right, to definitely bring your personality back into your space, things like that, to kind of offset or give you kind of a conversational piece. This guy right here is also a wraith. He's done with a blue, it's called a magic blue. You can tell it's kind of a translucent, kind of a shimmery blue that's kind of through him. He looks really cool. And then I ended up having to paint his sword on the outside because of the mold. I can't quite get in there with the mica powders and make that sword pop the way I wanted to. So he's actually got a cool sword with the silver and gold through him, and then a little bit of blue through his face to kind of give him that kind of depth on his face itself. So, like I said, if you're looking to pick anything up or you want a custom piece made, we definitely offer custom pieces, things like that, to kind of elevate your space and kind of give you what you're looking for. Or to kind of set your space aside from everybody else's or make you kind of stand out. I think this is about done. 4 seconds.
It probably is.
Let me move these out of our way. This guy turned out really cool looking though, our dragon. I liked him. All right. Now that our debubbler is done, let me put on some gloves here. The reason I wear gloves is I don't want to have a bunch of resin all over me that'll stay there for months at a time. Gloves I can kind of get rid of if I need to. Like I said, I'm a messy person, so. All right. Excuse me. You notice now, there's hardly any bubbles inside this resin. That's the beauty of doing it with a debubbler. It's a vacuum chamber that basically forces all the bubbles to the top, and then they all pop. I'm going to let that sit for just a second while I let the rest of those bubbles come to the surface. And then we're going to take a torch or a lighter to them. Just to finish popping some of those bubbles at the very top. All right. You good?
Mm-hmm. Just painting this mold still.
How's it coming?
It's looking pretty cool. I decided against the black on the teeth.
Okay.
So we'll see how he turns out.
He's definitely looking cool. What do you guys think about that skull? I think he's cool looking. What do you guys think?
You can kind of see that there's different colors on there. Not a whole lot, but there is 4 different colors.
And then a little bit of glitter?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
I have a galaxy, a blue, a violet, and a cyan. So, I mean, they're not a whole lot different, but different for me.
Fair. All right. I'm going to start pouring, yeah? You're good?
Absolutely.
Do you need anything from me before I
I
start?
do not.
Okay. So we're going to actually just take a little bit of resin. We're just going to put a little bit in the middle of all of these. I just need a little bit of resin to make it to where these colors will blend or move before I pour a big chunk of resin through the middle. So like I said, this should give us a kind of a cool effect, kind of a flower blossom or a starburst kind of look to them. Like I said, I'm doing just clear for now.
I think my mica powder is coming off on your silicone mat more than it is onto here. As soon as I pick it up, it attaches to the mat. So I'm actually losing a lot of mica powder over here.
Sorry.
That's right. I'm just going to move them over here.
Got it. So I'm just going to take a stir stick. It looks like a big popsicle stick or a tongue suppressor you pick up at like a doctor's office. I'm just going to move this resin to the very edge of the mold. So this should give it a very thin layer to give it to where these colors can kind of move. Try not to get too many bubbles through them. There's that one. I'm just going to push resin to the edges. Basically, I want the whole mold to be covered in resin so everything kind of flows and moves instead of it stays stagnant. This will give you a much cleaner look or kind of a better way of moving the resin or the colors around. Otherwise, you're just going to put them in a dot and it's just going to sit there and it's going to look really stupid. You want them to be able to flow. So the best way to do that is to make sure resin is everywhere on your mold before you actually start putting colors. I've tried it a couple different ways. This seems to be the best way that I've seen it work. Just putting some resin everywhere first. All right, we're gonna, oh, I got one more. I almost forgot one.
Well, that wouldn't have been good.
No, that would not have. Would have been funny though. Would have been typical me.
Yeah.
We are. There we go. This one still. So this one's going to need a little bit more resin. You can see it kind of coming away from itself. I'm going to put just a little bit more resin into it to make it to where it stays solid. This one looks good. This one looks fine. This one needs a little bit more.
All right.
There we go. There we go.
All right.
Nope, this one needs a little more too.
He looks like an alien head this way.
That he does. He definitely looks alien. I like it.
All right.
It'll be cool looking once you get him molded though. All right. Now that we got that, wipe off my excess resin. We're going to use a couple different colors. We're going to use a blue. I don't know if you guys can see that blue. We're going to take and just drop a handful of blue dots. All right, it looks like I got a little bit of resin on my gloves, so let me clean that.
There you go. What do you think?
I think he's cool looking. What do you guys think? Like this skull? He's going to look cool when we're done. We're just going to put him off to the side. Let me clean off my hands a little bit. I got a little bit of resin in some places. There's still resin if you want to do something as well. Mm-hmm. So we're going to take this blue and we're just going to put drops on the outside. Now, I never do anything in even numbers. Odd numbers always seem to look better. So that's why you're looking at it where I'm like, hold on, why are you doing 5 instead of 4? I would do 5 or 3. I tend to do 5 because it looks a little smoother, a little bit better when you start looking at all the colors. So we're going to do a blue. Now, if you notice, it's starting to actually pool out already. So I'm going to take some purple and come in between these guys. Still in odd numbers. And I'm going to go green, kind of in between them here in the center. Now, if you notice, it's starting to actually kind of pool together. Now I'm just going to take some white around these guys as well, just on the very edges, to give it this kind of whitish look.
You can move that one off.
Okay. Hopefully you guys can see all that. Now, here's the fun part. We're going to pour some resin right into the center, and it's going to kind of spiral out away from my center. And once it hits the edges, it's going to pull all those colors back in to give it this kind of cool effect that should be coming back. You notice I'm just pouring right in the very center. We're just going to let that sit for just a second. As you can see, this first one I did right here, you can see it's starting to pull color back into the middle because it basically flooded to the outside. Now it's starting to reflow back into the center, which is the look I was going for. And here in a second, we're going to take some toothpicks and we're going to actually pull resin back into the middle, but I'm going to let them sit for just a second to kind of reset, and then we'll move forward. How's your colors coming over there, sweetie?
I haven't started. I was filling up the lid first.
Oh, I got you.
So I went through and I kind of squidgied it, but I just want to double check and make sure that it's inside.
I don't know if, oh, you can barely see that on camera.
Oh, it's there.
Let me move some stuff so you guys can see what she's doing. So she poured the resin into the middle of the pot, and now she kind of squoze the sides to get all the bubbles out. Now she's taking almost like a cotton swab that's designed for resin, and she's coming around the very edges to make sure we don't have any bubbles around that lip of that lid. So you can see she's kind of moving in and out of it, and then she's pulling bubbles to the center as it starts to go, which is what we're doing. But you see these colors now, how they're starting to kind of flood back into itself. These are about ready to start actually playing with them when it comes to actually moving some resin around.
I'm just going to top him off because he is done.
Beautiful.
Out there?
So you want to, yeah, that looks good. You want to fill them up right to the very top because the resin's going to shrink slightly and give you that kind of concave look on the bottom. So if you fill them right to the top or even just slightly over to where it's a little bubbled on the top, you'll get a much better bottom on them. Okay, so now I'm just going to take some nice toothpicks. We're actually just going to take and I'm just going to pull color into the middle here. Okay.
Do you need any more in yours, or am I good?
No, you're good to go
for the green.
I don't need any more resin, so I'm good. I'm just going to take and pull colors in. Okay, it's actually pulling resin in, and it's going to drag those colors with it, and then it's going to basically make almost like a flower petal look to the inside of these. So we're going to pull it in. Okay, on all these colors, pulling the purples, pulling those greens and blues. That little hint of white that I have coming through them. Okay.
Can I get that foil from you?
Yeah. The gold, silver?
The ones yep, that one.
There you go. So now that I got to go in one direction, I'm going to take it. I'm actually going to very lightly take and make some points at the very edges of these petals. With just one toothpick instead of the two that I was using before. This will make it look like there's actual petals flowing through. This one already looks good. There we go. And now these just need to sit for 24 hours. They're going to continue to blend together and kind of mold themselves and blend and shape and kind of do their thing. It'll look really cool when it's done. We're going to come back through tomorrow, and I'm going to take some very dark black, like almost like a pure black, a mirror finish black, and I'm going to cover back over the top of these to finish filling them up the rest of the way to give it a kind of that cool coaster look. But we should be good with this one.
Awesome.
How much resin do you need?
I'm not positive. I need to fill up that pot. And this is what I have right now.
I can take some of it for our crystals?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So I'm going to take some of this. Sorry, I had an itch. I'm going to take some of this resin. I'm just going to put some into the bottom of this crystal mold. Just straight clear. Then I'm going to squeegee them around to make sure I don't have any bubbles. Take a little cotton swab and kind of make sure I don't have anything in the way of making it to where there's no bubbles or anything inside of here. So we're just going to pour him gently. Fill him almost up all the way, but not quite, because I'm going to come back through with that black with some cool rock or crystals inside of him as well. So I'm going to take my little cotton swab. You guys see what I'm looking at? I'm actually going to take, before I do that, I'm actually going to try and open them up. I'm pulling the mold apart to get it to where all that resin sits down in all those little crevices of this crystal. Okay, you can see I'm also squishing it to try and get all those bubbles up to the top and out of those little crevices inside this crystal. We normally end up having a bunch inside these things. Then I'm going to take my little cotton swab. I'm going to play inside all those little crystal crevices to see if I can make sure I pull out all the bubbles everywhere.
I think that one's good. What do you think?
A little bit more. No, that looks like a cool color. That going in the pot, yeah?
Yeah, it's to bring that lid color.
I need a little more resin here.
So we already have the lid to the pot made. And so I'm trying to bring this color into our pot, which is actually going to be green. So that's what I'm doing here with this foil.
Beautiful. I like the look of that foil, by the way. I think it looks way cool.
This one is really cool. It's kind of a bronzy orangish color, which I guess is kind of different.
Yeah, it's different than what we normally would do.
Fair.
All right, let us know if you guys have any questions, comments, anything else you guys might want to see. We have a little bit more resin.
Okay, I don't know how much I need for this. So
We're doing that in 24, or you want me to pour it into the dragon?
Huh? Yeah, that I thought you were going to do the dragon.
I can. I just don't know if you need your resin where you're going to do a dirty pour, or you want me to pour the dragon.
You could go ahead and pour the dragon with what you got. Did you want him a clear color?
I think we're going to make him a little smoky black. Maybe a smoky purple.
I already knew you were going to say smoky black. You always say smoky black.
Well, I like the look of it because it's more of a translucent glass.
So what if you were to do purple and then add like 1 drop of black? So it darkens up that purple. It makes it more smoky.
Think this is going to be enough for him?
Probably not, but we can always make more.
So this is 1. Where's my fluid ounces here?
Okay.
This is probably 3 ounces is what we're looking at.
Oh, then it might be close.
Do you want me to mix it in a different cup then?
No.
This one's fine?
He's got 3 or 4 ounces. I don't remember how much he was.
All right, we're going to put a couple drops of this purple resin dye. This is the same dye I used in our flower molds that we're just playing with there.
I'd mix it up, see what color it is, and then decide if you want to put that little bit of black into it, because the black is very potent.
We're going to mix as gently as we can to make sure I don't get too many bubbles. I think I want it a little darker purple. What do you think?
I don't know. It depends on if you... That black's going to make it pretty dark. But I'm hoping it doesn't make it black.
Let's give it a try.
You can always put a drop on your stick and let it flow down so you don't get the full drop in there as well.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think of these greens?
Oh, those look cool.
Okay.
I like that. This is going in this pot, right?
Yep, along with that bronzy color.
Get this out of our way. These are going to have to stay here.
So, that's fine.
So
I
I'm
have...
gonna put just a drop inside this stick.
Gonna go like this. Get these out of the way as well.
All right. So we have this little tiny drop of black. I just wanted to darken up this purple a little bit. So we're adding a little touch of black.
Ooh, actually I like that.
To give it kind of a smoky purple look. I think I might want one more drop of purple.
All right, here I go.
All right, can we see that on camera? Yeah.
Kind of.
So what we're gonna do on this right here, I'm gonna turn the camera so you
actually,
guys.
no, watch. How about you help with so that we, like we did the last one.
Okay.
So we pour them at the same time.
Let me move this over here a little
That's
bit.
fine.
Okay. So what we're gonna do is this is what we call like a dirty pour. It's barely off camera or in camera, so it's onto this pot right here.
And then show the colors.
And then we got a green, 2 greens, and then that kind of bronzes mica, or not mica, but a foil that we're actually going to be using. So we're going to actually just take and dump this at the same time so you guys can see what's actually happening. Wish I could get you a better view. And we're going to spin and move as we go to give us that kind of cool effect. Oh, it's almost full.
No.
Mine's almost empty.
So is mine, but we are not full.
Okay.
Oh, yours is like scrape empty.
Yep.
Mine is not.
That's why I stopped. I'm like, oh, I'm basically done. So put
I'm
yours
really hoping
in.
some of this foil stays and does not all float to the top.
It should. Look at it right here.
Well,
You can kind of see some of the foil.
Oh, oops.
That's all right. I got you. Okay. I'm just going to scrape the rest of this in.
Oh, I did good on
the colors look phenomenal, by the way.
Yeah, but I did good on how much.
Oh, yeah. That was definitely a good...
Because I still have a little bit of both of these that you could scrape into it.
There we go.
Beautiful. Okay.
You got that one, or you want me to?
No, I'm going to have you do it since you got that, but I'm going to start doing this while you do it.
So what she's doing is she's going to, what we call squidgying. I know it's a very technical term. I think it's a funny term, but that's what she's always called it. I don't know where it come from, but that's what we call it now. So what we're doing is we're trying to get all those bubbles and anything like that that might be kind of trapped underneath the resin to come to the surface so we can pop them before, so we get a nice solid mold with no bubbles in it. So that's what she's doing. She's kind of pounding on the side. She's squidgying or squishing it to make it to where all that color kind of comes to, or bubbles come to the top. And then I'm going to just top this guy off.
And we are about at our hour.
We are almost done, people. So this pot is now ready. It's going to sit for 24 hours because that's the 24-hour mold or pour resin that we did. So you can see him. Here's this.
I need this because he's not quite to the top.
I'm going to finish this cap mold, and then we will call it a day. Like I said, if you have any questions, reach out, add a comment, anything like that. If you're looking for a particular model or a particular mold, wanting to pick something up or wanting us to see how you do something, so you've seen something and you're like, hold on, that was way cool looking, and you want to actually know how we did it, we're more than happy to help show you how we did it, to kind of give you that lesson in actually doing that as well. But this purple looks really cool now. Look how black and purple that is.
I do like that
thing looks cool.
Okay, so this is good.
Okay.
I don't need these.
So this is just going into our cat dragon that we made earlier. We're going to pour a little bit at a time. Get it down into his spine area. I'm going to stop for a second. Now we're going to do the same thing we did as we were doing with mica powders. I'm going to open this mold up and see if I can get all the little bubbles, all the little micro bubbles that might be in there, any big bubbles that might be inside his head, inside his horns. And we're just going to kind of squish it. You guys can kind of see what's happening. And then I'm going to open it up to get all that resin down into his spine, to give him to where he doesn't have any bubbles at all. And now that most of the bubbles are to the top, I'm going to take my trusty little cotton swab and just go down into the very corners of those horns and pull out the bubbles that might be sitting inside of there. This mold tends to have bubbles down in his horns. That's why I'm paying extra attention to him to make sure we don't have any bubbles or any defects inside his actual body or his horns. And then I'm just running down his spine just to make sure all those bubbles are out as well. So I'm sticking the cotton swab in, and then I'm pulling it up and almost out of the resin to get those bubbles to come to the top. Okay? That's what we're doing to get all those bubbles and make them nice and clear.